The United States has so many powerful weapon systems that it is difficult to narrow it down to 5. Nuclear weapons and their delivery systems have to be included. Plus, the new class of aircraft carriers and the latest aerial gunships should be reckoned with. It all can be very frightening to the enemy and lead to deterrence, which is half the battle. Nonetheless, and you may disagree, here are my picks for the US military's 5 deadliest weapons of war. 5. The AC-130 gunship. The AC-130H Spectre and the AC-130U Spooky primary missions are close air support, air interdiction and armed reconnaissance. Close air support missions include troops in contact, convoy escort and point air defense. Air interdiction missions are conducted against pre-planned targets or targets of opportunity and include strike coordination and reconnaissance and armed overwatch mission sets. These heavily armed aircraft incorporate side-firing weapons integrated with sophisticated sensor, navigation and fire control systems to provide surgical firepower or area saturation during extended loiter periods, at night and in adverse weather. The sensor suite consists of a television sensor, infrared sensor and radar. These sensors allow the gunship to visually or electronically identify friendly ground forces and targets. The AC-130 is armed with a fearsome array of weaponry, including a 105mm cannon and 25 or 40mm Gatling guns. The AC-130U employs a synthetic aperture strike radar for long-range and adverse weather target detection and identification. The AC-130's navigational devices include inertial navigation systems and global positioning systems. Both of the AC-130s employ the latest technologies and can attack 2 targets simultaneously. The Spooky U model is the 3rd generation of C-130 gunships. All gunships evolved from the first operational gunship, the AC-47. The AC-130 gunship has a combat history dating to Vietnam. Gunships destroyed more than 10,000 trucks and were credited with many life-saving close air support missions. During Operation Urgent Fury in Grenada in 1983, AC-130 suppressed enemy air defense systems and attacked ground forces, enabling the successful assault of the Point Salines airfield via airdrop and air land of friendly forces. The AC-130 aircrew earned the Lieutenant General William Henry Tunner Award for the mission. 4. The Ford-class supercarrier. The aircraft carrier, with its embarked carrier air wing, is a preeminent asset for maintenance of maritime superiority across the oceans of the globe. History has time and again shown the invaluable benefits of having the capability to bring decisive air power to bear from the sea. The aircraft carrier, combined with the ships in an accompanying carrier strike group, is capable of carrying out missions across the full spectrum of military operations, ranging from large-scale combat operations to deterrence to humanitarian assistance. The title of the world's biggest aircraft carrier belongs to the U.S. Navy's Gerald R. Ford-class battleships. The first carrier in this class, USS Gerald R. Ford, was commissioned in May 2017 and the 4 remaining announced vessels of this class are under construction. The Ford class can carry 85 aircraft. That is more than some countries' entire air forces. This includes the F-35C Lightning II, E-2D Advanced Hawkeye, and the V-22B Osprey, plus the FA-18E and FA-18F Super Hornet fighters, and the EA-18G Growler electronic warfare airplane. The Gerald R. Ford, which is currently active in service, is 337 meters long with a beam of 748 meters. They feature a full load displacement of 100,000 tons and its 78 meters wide flight deck features an electromagnetic aircraft launch system as well as advanced arresting gear. The new carrier has 2 nuclear reactors and 4 shafts that will require less maintenance. It can conduct 33% more sorties than the Nimitz class. It has improved electricity generation that would allow it to use directed energy weapons in the future. The Navy has deployed a new catapult system and arresting gear on the Ford class, which uses electromagnetics instead of steam. 3. The Block V Tomahawk cruise missile. Tomahawk is a GPS-guided weapon that launches from ships and submarines, and can strike targets precisely from 1,000 miles away, even in heavily defended airspace. The Tomahawk cruise missile has been a U.S. Navy mainstay since it was first introduced in the 1980s, and has repeatedly proven itself in multiple combat deployments. According to Raytheon, the Tomahawk has been flight tested about 550 times, and used in actual combat around 2,300 times, making it arguably one of, if not the most combat-tested weapon in American military service. Though the Tomahawk is typically launched from U.S. Navy ships via vertical launch system containers, though they can also be launched horizontally from submarines' torpedo tubes, or from a vertical launch system broadly similar to the kind used on a surface ship. The U.S. Navy recertified and modernized the missile, extending its service life by 15 years, resulting in the new Tomahawk Block V series. Tomahawk Block Vs are the most improved cruise missiles in the U.S. arsenal. They can hit enemy ships over 1,000 miles away. The Block Vs have a new warhead that penetrates better. The upgraded Tomahawks can be carried by naval-guided missile ships and attack and boomer submarines. The Block Vs are better able to survive against electronic countermeasures, and they are more difficult to track on radar. The new Tomahawks are adept at hitting moving targets. The Block V also has improved targeting for land attack missions. 2. Ohio-class submarines. The Ohios are often referred to as the Navy's boomers owing to their extended patrol and nuclear-tipped intercontinental ballistic missile capability. However, not all of the Navy's Ohios are nuclear-armed. In 1994, the 4 oldest Ohio-class submarines underwent a conversion process to equip them with a special operations support and land attack capability in place of their nuclear payload. To that end, those submarines had their Trident nuclear missiles removed and replaced with shorter-range, non-nuclear Tomahawk cruise missiles, which freed up space to support up to 66 special operations personnel, in general Navy SEALs or Marine Raiders. As a part of the 2010 new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, each of the 14 Trident missile-carrying Ohios had 4 of their missile tubes deactivated, bringing the number of on-board missiles down to 20 from 24. As the Ohio class is nuclear-powered, they can operate for over a decade without needing to refuel or without requiring any major overhaul. Typically, however, the Ohios are underway conducting deterrence patrols for about 77 days. After completion, the submarines then stay in port for just over a month for provisions and routine maintenance. The longest known Ohio patrol, conducted by the USS Pennsylvania in 2014, lasted for 140 days, a Navy record. More recently, one of the Navy's boomers, the USS Alaska, made a publicized port stop at Gibraltar, though the submarine's home port is in Kings Bay, Georgia. The Navy described the stop in Gibraltar as a brief stop that strengthens cooperation between the United States and the United Kingdom Gibraltar, and demonstrates U.S. capability, readiness, flexibility, and continuing commitment as part of NATO. It is rather unusual for one of the United States Navy's most powerful weapon platforms to be so publicly announced, though when considering the USS Alaska's awesome payload, it is probably better to be completely publicly forthright. Enemies beware, there is a boomer out and about. 1. The B-83 nuclear bomb. At nearly 1.5 tons, the B-83 is the largest nuclear bomb that the United States currently keeps. The B-83 entered service in 1983. With the dismantling of the last B-53 bomb in 2011, the B-83 became the highest yield nuclear weapon in the U.S. arsenal. Its nuclear yield is 1.2 megatons. Significantly more powerful than either of the nuclear bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II. It's big, it's powerful, and it's had a colorful history. The bomb is 3.7 meters long, with a diameter of 460 millimeters. The actual nuclear explosive package, judging from published drawings, occupies some 0.91 to 1.22 meters in the forward part of the bomb case. The bomb weighs approximately 1,100 kilograms. The location of the lifting lug shows that the greater part of the total mass is contained in the nuclear explosive. It has a variable yield. The destructive power is adjustable from somewhere in the low kiloton range up to a maximum of 1.2 megatons of TNT. The weapon is protected by a Category D permissive action link that prevents the enabling or detonation of the weapon without proper authorization. About 650 B-83s were built, and the weapon remains in service as part of the United States Enduring Stockpile. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button. Do not forget to write your thoughts about the video in the comments.